Guess I'm back. Is Huck gonna join me today?
What's up, Fresh? Just the return.
Oh fuck! If I'd have known you was gonna do that,
There it is. Yeah,
I I guess you over the sickness now. You feeling good? You looking good? What's going on, bro?
I feel a lot better. I did. Honestly, I was never sick. I was just like not wanting to be here. No, yeah, I was in some bad shape. Uh, Everybody wear a mask and get your vaccine. I guess I'm gonna jump on the blue pill on this one.
The blue pill.
The left side.
I thought you was talking about the other blue pill.
No, 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 no. I don't take Xanaxes. They're bad.
Oh my goodness. Well, glad to see you back. Missed you 2 weeks. You had the sickness, but you're good. You're looking good. We back talking about the bullshit that is going on in IWC, and we got a special guest with us. You know him.
I
I
know
just,
him.
I just met him. Seems like a pretty
Right.
cool. He's a cool dude from so far. So you want to do the introduction, or
Yeah, coming straight out of the Alabama, man. This is a dude I've known for a long time from a different genre of area, but he's become one of my personal friends. He's a musician himself, and we'll get into that. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Beezy Badass.
What's happening? What's happening?
I don't have an applause button, but if I did, round of applause and all that good stuff.
I
What's
got
going
you.
on, man? How you doing, huh? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good. Doing good. Enjoying my vacation out here in Orlando right now. Cool.
Oh shit, vacation. I ain't seen one of those in a long time, but
Same.
Yeah, me
I'll get one of those. I'll get one of those. But before we came on, we were having a conversation about just just the hypocrisy in the IWC, and we were talking about the AEW show from last week, Dynamite, and how things that go on in AEW are praised, but if they were happening in the WWE side, they would be bashed and talked about and all kind of stuff. So, and we brought up the example of the MJF character, his match, him and Adam Cole, and whatever little dance routine they were doing on Wednesday. And Beezy has said, if Seth was doing that, he'd have caught all type of hell for that.
Man,
But
they'll still be talking about it to
right,
this day. Like from Monday until now, they will still be talking about it.
and it's crazy because like I said, MJF is not even the main event of the show. He's not even the main story on the show, and he's your world heavyweight champion.
Mm-mm.
I don't
It's like
understand.
everybody wanted him to be champion so bad, and it's like once he got there, it was just kind of. Mm,
Right. And
mm,
we on the show page, I made a post about Dominic being the best heel today, and people were trying to argue me down about no, it's MJF, and I'm like, no, Dom, and I was being schooled on what a heel was because I've never seen wrestling. I have no idea what a heel is. So somebody took it upon themselves to school me up on what a heel was. They were wrong, but they thought they were schooling me. A heel is somebody you want to see get their butt whipped. A heel is somebody you want to see, get theirs. A heel is not a person I just don't want to see on my television. They're not doing their job if they make me want to cut you off.
Right.
That crap I
yeah,
saw on Wednesday made me just turn the show off because I don't want to see.
yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
tune into wrestling to see grown men gyrating. Like, bro, like you're not Rick Rude. This ain't your thing.
mm,
They literally started the match with a dance off.
yeah.
Your world heavyweight champion started his tag team match with a dance off.
It was very, very odd to me. And like, I don't know, for them to say that he is a bigger heel than Dom right now is crazy. Like, if you would have said that maybe last year, maybe I would have been like, okay, I was at SmackDown last night, and Dom wasn't even supposed to be there, I don't think, but like, he's the NXT North American champion or whatever. And like from the moment he showed up backstage on the screen, like the boos, bro, like I don't know. I don't
So
see how MJF is.
And I was just about to mention that when you talk about the boos and being a heel, they're not booing him because it's the outright dislike of like we, you know. it's the outright amazing heel work that he does, to where it's just fun to boo this man now. But really, he's very much praised. So in a way, the boos that he gets before he even gets a chance to freaking talk, that's like a praise, honestly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this, BZ. You said you were at the show last night, and you were being a musician. You've performed on stage. You've been around live sound. Are those boos piped in, or was the audience really booing him like that?
Oh no, it was everything was real, bro. Like they they hate that kid with a pat. Like I don't know, he just has from the punchable face to like the diabolical shit he's done. Like there's a general hate for him.
And the
Like
fact that he has that North American title and he beat who he beat, he's even he you don't want to like him anymore. Like
exactly, especially the way he won it.
Right. That, I
Yeah,
mean, if there was a way to cheat, I mean that was it. That was
yeah.
directly straight up cheating,
quick,
and the way Rhea played the main part in it, beautiful.
you know who
It's such
well, you know
great
who his real
cinema.
daddy is. So his real daddy taught him how to cheat. So
Right. Lockheed
uh,
and Spirit, for that matter.
my partner in crime back here made a comment to me the other night and said, Dominic's father, if he was alive, would be real proud of him right now. I was like, that's pretty good, pretty
Hell
good.
yeah.
oh
Hell yeah.
you picked the winner. Anybody that can make that joke and actually know what the joke is about,
Yeah.
you winning in life, my boy.
For sure.
So now, what do you think? You know, BZ of AEW since they started to where they are now. Like, is it a better show? Has it gotten better? Is it more of what you thought it was going to be? Or
it's it's been kind of a roller coaster ride to me. Like it started out there was a lot of excitement because of it just being an alternative in North America. You know what I'm saying? It drew in a lot of the indie fan base, I think. But over time, especially I don't know if you saw there's like a list of stuff that they're like banning and outlawing now. Like they're
yeah, I
trying to be
saw that.
more
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they're
funny
trying to
they
be
did that and then they went and had the blood and guts match. They put that
right,
list.
right. Like
Like,
I don't understand. It's like they're trying to go in a direction of being like more of like a market friendly company like a WWE, but they still try to keep like the crazy indie shit in there. I don't know. It's weird right
Yeah.
now. This
yeah,
is weird. I'm not really sure what it is, honestly.
I don't understand why they thought they can put an indie type show on national TV and put it and sell out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do what you do on the indies in the professional world. Like, it don't
No.
work. You go to an indie show, you expect some wild stuff to happen in the crowd. That's the environment that is. When you go to
Right.
WWE, you're not sitting there expecting to get thrown on, spit on, all that crazy cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like,
Exactly.
I don't
It's
understand it.
wild, man. It is
So,
wild.
so do you think like the people who left WWE to join AEW, like the Rusevs or Miros or whatever you want to call them, Miro, um, who else left? Like Jake Hager. Like, he's like, what is he doing? Who else left? Even to Soraya and then what she's doing now. Like, I don't see how they left one company. And look, no disrespect. No, I'm not saying don't leave. If you're not happy, go. I get it, but don't tell me your career is better than it is when you were there, because it ain't. Half of y'all ain't even on TV. Like, so, only person who's getting a lot of TV time from leaving WWE is Cesaro or Claudio and Soraya. That's it. Out of all them people that left,
Okay.
them the only people that's getting a lot of TV time. Daniel Bryan too, but he's hurt. But ain't nobody else getting no time.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke his
They
fall.
gave me very much like WCW vibes where it's like they filled the roster up with too many people and now it's just like the people
Yo,
that have pulled backstage are the only ones getting the TV time and the I don't know, it's getting crazy.
and it seems like they don't even know what to do. Like, you hear all the time, well, WWE is not doing this person right or not pushing this person right. They don't know what to do with them. But you got people back. and AEW just making up their own shit to do, and it's like what?
Pretty much.
It's not even
Pretty
working, bro.
much.
Like everything is all like I don't know one long storyline because they all bleed into another storyline, and then before if you miss a week or miss 2 weeks, either you not gonna know what's going on, or you gonna be like, oh, they still doing that.
One of my most memorable moments was when AEW first kind of started being televised and being around, and it was with their first, I think, inaugural champion. That was Chris Jericho, and him still being that Chris Jericho that you kind of remember from WWE. And he was walking backstage with the belt. He was just talking shit to everybody, and he's like, "Yeah, you like this, Young Bucks? This is your company. I have your title." It was just funny, and now when I watch Chris Jericho, don't get me wrong, I still like him. I still, he's probably in my top 10, honestly, but uh, it just don't feel the same Chris Jericho. I don't know. Something about it doesn't feel right. It ain't been right for a while.
Is it the heels he's wearing?
That might be something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge anyone for how they dress, but
Oh no,
maybe.
I'm judging. You ain't gonna call me. You ain't gonna come to me acting like you tough guy wearing sequin colored heels, bro. Like get out of my face, bro. I can't take you seriously. Just can't.
Well,
Yeah.
I was always afraid of Orlando Jordan for reasons. So.
Because he looks like he's a sick bastard. Orlando Jordan looked like he would put you in the basement.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure if you go look in his basement, he's probably got a lot of them in the basement while he's in the closet. Jesus Christ, there it is. Well, we're off the air.
Uh, what's your new saying, Huck?
Oh yeah, you definitely won't be doing this in a small. Try that in a small town.
Look, I was so out the loop on that. I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. All I know was people were talking about this song and they were mad about it and they were calling people racist for liking the song or sing. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I've read the lyrics. I've watched the video, and look, I said this to several people, and my thing is that if by the lyrics that you assume that this is pointed at a certain ethnicity, then I would think that would make you more racist than it would anyone else.
There you go. There
Because
you
why
go.
are you targeting that? But
There
whatever.
you go.
If that's the first thing
Like
your mind jumped to, yeah, you probably are the
that's
racist.
that's a big problem that a lot of people seem to have. Like music, any kind of art, you know what I'm saying? It's up to perception a lot of times, and it's I don't know if that's where your mind goes. You're the problem. You feel me?
The only person that can tell you what a picture meant, what a song meant, whatever book they wrote meant, anything, is the person who wrote it, painted it, sung it, or whatever.
When I hear people talk about this video, and forgive me, it's usually younger white liberals that come out and say this, and you would by what how they explain the video and the lyrics, you would think that you'd actually see somewhere out in the middle of the sticks, and there's a rope tied up, and people are standing around in white sheets with pitchforks and shit. I mean, and that's not the case, but again,
That's
I don't know what the fuck's going on
that's
with
very much what I expected with the way they were talking about it, but that's not
right. I was
how
expecting
it
to
goes.
see some shit happening,
You can look at wrestling fandom and tell exactly what's going on. People got to be mad about something.
but we're
It's like
pretty
it's like if you can't be, and we can bring back the wrestling. If you can't, I need to complain about this, or I need to complain about that, or why did they do this? Vince McMahon is back. Vince McMahon is a rapist. Why do you care? Why do you? It does not affect you. If you don't stop watching wrestling,
Pretty
I
much.
stop.
imagine if there's so many right that, and I see it all the time, especially on TikTok because I'm always scanning. I got a lot of wrestling on my for you page, and it's a lot of opinions, and I'm not saying anyone shouldn't have an opinion, but for goodness sake, I mean, if you really despise it that much, why do you keep it's like almost self torture. Why? It's like taking a fork and just stabbing yourself in the head. Like I don't like this, but I have to do it.
Do you know how miserable
Right.
of a person you have to
I
be to
don't get
keep
that.
doing something you hate? Like
I don't get that.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
Guess what? I don't. I don't like. I don't like Love and Hip Hop. I don't like what's the tattoo show. I don't watch the real. I don't like the Real House, whatever.
Housewives.
Yeah, I don't like none of that shit. So you know what I don't do? I don't fucking
I
watch
don't
it.
watch that shit.
I don't have an opinion about it. If you like it, that's all. That's all. That's her thing. She watched all them shows.
See, we on the
It was,
same level of that
it
because
was
my girl back here tries to get me to watch Grey's Anatomy, and I'm like, I watched 3 episodes. I gave that shit 3 episodes, okay? And that shit was so boring. I'm done. It's not happening. We're not watching it. I'm not watching it.
I'm not because to me, if I want to watch all that bullshit, I just go back to watching wrestling. It's the same fucking drama.
Right.
Stuff is more interesting.
Right.
I don't.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
I don't get people, man. I don't
So
understand people these days.
it's like, and I think they have. It's those people who just watch it to hate it, and it's those people who are influenced to watch something and then influenced to follow one person's opinion about what they watched. Like
Right.
I'm not gonna watch an episode of SmackDown, then run to Dave Meltzer and see what he thought about it. Like that's dumb. I just watched it. Why do I gotta go to him to see what he thought before I make my own judgment? Like,
So
and if he don't like it, I guess I don't like it either.
my
That's
before we really venture off the topic of music and everything, I know this is a wrestling podcast, but as I mentioned below here, our guy is a musician. Beezy, if you don't mind, can you fill us in on a few things, like maybe how you got into it, like what you got going on now, any future projects?
How I got into it. I mean, music has been like it's been like an intermittent thing with me. Like my whole life, music has been like it's been right here. My dad was a DJ when I was younger, so I mean, it was just I was always getting exposed to the old and new. So I feel like coming up into like junior high, high school, I started, getting into rapping and making beats and stuff like that. And I've always kind of brought a little bit of the old school into the new school type shit and kind of mixed it together, kind of bridge the gap. And it's turning out pretty good for me right now. I got some new stuff in the works. Actually, we talked about him earlier. Good friend of all of our Mr. Rain Carter. We got some stuff cooking up pretty soon. I think he's in
uh,
the studio today, actually.
I'm
So
glad.
He is, yeah.
I'm glad you can get his ass to do some work for you, Richard, because I can't get
yeah,
Ray.
it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue
I
for
literally told him. I said, dude, all I need is 16. That's all I need, bro. How long ago
yeah.
was
There's
that?
a
But,
that's been about 2 months ago.
Good lord.
There's always an ongoing thing in this other genre of entertainment that we do, all three of us sometimes. That there's an ongoing thing that every time we see Rain Carter, we have to say, "Man, that Rain is good. He's almost as good as Beezy. He's almost as good as Beezy."
I think the first time I said that to him, he just looked at me like,
man, that dude's incredible though.
no,
He
Um,
is.
he's come a long way from when I first heard him. He's come a
I can
long
say
yeah,
way.
this, and I'm not trying to kiss ass or anything. This is a serious comment. I've said this to other people. I've turned other people locally around on to Beezy and Rain and even another TJ Vegas, who's not
I
anybody
got
that's
killed
not
early.
familiar with. Uh, but yeah, I'd much rather listen to these guys than well, probably almost anything that I've heard on the radio in the last fuck 10 years.
I got a rule. I don't listen to anything with anybody's. If your name has the word little in it or little in it, I'm not listening to it.
I do like Lil Wayne now.
I
Chill.
mean, I'm talking about after
Okay,
that.
after, yeah,
That anybody
gotcha.
after Lil Wayne, I'm
I'm
not listening.
like, see, that's where I'm conflicted because like I don't know the age group I sit in where like I came up on like the '90s rappers and stuff, but then once I hit like I jumped off the porch and I was like in the street in the club or whatever, like the stuff I was listening to then is kind of the stuff that set the way for what's out there now. Like you know what I'm saying? When Wayne and Kanye and all them brought like the auto tune and the melody into the rap shit, and now it's just a product of what they did
Yeah,
and
but
everybody just took it a rant with it.
the difference is I can understand what Wayne was saying back then. I can understand what Kanye was saying. I don't know what the fuck Wayne be talking about now. But these dudes
Well,
like,
I don't even think Kanye's the real Kanye anymore, right?
oh
Like
Lord,
that's a fake Kanye, right?
yeah, him and Joe Biden, they've been cloned.
Right. That's like Kanye East or whatever. It's definitely not West.
I don't know. I don't know what Kanye got going on sometimes, but you know, like every 5 years he reinvent himself into a different Kanye anyway. So like, I don't.
But that's how long the clone pill lasts. 5 years. You got to take
Yeah,
another one.
it's got a max. Then you got to go get some more baby blood and smear it on you or something whatever they're doing. But,
It's octopus blood, bro.
oh yeah. Well,
So,
octopus. We're gonna go on a whole nother subject for a second. Octopus are fucking like, dude. I am terrified of octopus. They can do these magical things that's unexplainable.
I don't
yeah,
know how we got to
I don't
that.
fuck.
I don't know how we went to this, but we're here.
I don't know.
Oh
But
my
that shit was
goodness.
true though.
Now, so since you're a musician, who's got the better music? Who has the better interest? What's the best theme you've heard?
Like
Wrestling
in
wise,
all of
Wrestling,
wrestling
wrestling.
right now.
For
Oh,
well, we could talk for we okay. Two best theme now, best theme all time.
I think right now Seth Rollins probably got everybody beat just because he got people singing his song for like 10 minutes straight,
After the song
acapella.
goes off,
Yeah,
during his matches.
like it doesn't like people can't even cut promos when he's out there. So definitely Seth, and I don't know anything else. I say Shinsuke Nakamura, like ever since he came with that, and actually it's a remake of that. Lil Uzi Vert did a remake of it on his new album. That shit
really?
go hard.
Huh. I might have to go
I
listen
was
to it.
about to bring that up a minute ago. You saying you don't listen to the Littles anymore. I was about to say, you mean you don't listen to Louis Vert?
Fuck no, bro. And,
You
you know the
know,
fun, I have teenage children, and I still don't listen to this. I don't know what they be talking about, but
I
I don't know
feel
if you ever heard it
I got a I
when
got a
Rock came.
younger brother and sister that keep me plugged in to all the new shit. So
Oh,
you
okay.
know, a lot of that I got to credit them for.
When Rock came back, uh, I forgot what movie he did. When he turned into Hollywood Rock, that theme he had,
Yeah, that shit
man,
was hard.
I played that shit in my car, bro.
Yeah, that shit. That's still my favorite theme of it. He's had like 4 or 5 different versions of
Yeah, that
Right.
shit was
his
hard.
theme, and
I'm
that's
talking
the
about
best.
the first one, not the first one when he first came back when the helicopter was
Yeah,
flying
when
over
they
the
had
city.
Yeah,
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 it was like a whole minute intro. It
yeah.
kind of gives me the same vibes as like how Roman thing gives me now. It's like you can't help but like stop and be like, who the fuck?
Yeah. Like
You know?
I'm waiting for somebody to jump on that and just start spitting fire and that shit, bro. Like,
and see
Right.
that's probably my
Yeah.
number one. My number one. Now I know like overall, Seth Rollins, I agree, all has the best thing going because people are serenading him in the middle of the ring with it. But Roman's theme is hands down for
It's
me the
perfect.
best.
It
Yeah.
is perfect.
And Cody's is also good. I like Cody's. It's very catchy. It fits him, and then
Yeah.
everybody hits the whoa. You know, it's
I like
perfect.
Cody, but his got that offbeat that I don't know. See, I play drums,
All right.
so my shit is timing is my shit, right? But he
Yeah.
got that offbeat that is like maybe it's the fact because I can't play that, but I don't know what it is. I like it. It flows, but like I don't know when the beat drop, it just I don't know. It's just off to me. It sounds off, but people like it.
Judgment Day also that thing go
Judgment
hard.
Day's good.
Judgment Day shit is good. Like
Finn Balor's version of it, of kind of like the Judgment Day blended in with his theme is really good. I like it a lot.
oh, the
Yeah.
one that has the guitar riff at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. The
I,
Shinsuke's is still good. I kind of liked it with the singing in it, but I like the old school as well.
the
Yeah.
shit
Let the crowd do it. Let the crowd do it.
the one when
Yeah,
he first came into WWE. That's the one I like.
yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
original.
Mhm.
that's the OG.
Yeah. Um.
Uh, so I
LA
I
Knight.
asked you
Huh? What do you say?
I like LA Knight's theme too.
Oh, you know
I
what?
do too.
I do, but it's a little. I don't think it fits him.
It is
Right.
hard to fit him.
I don't
Uh,
think. I don't. It's a little too jazzy for him. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I
Like it
don't
felt
want. I
like
like.
Dr. Dre produced that shit. Like I don't know, I don't know. It go hard, but I get what you're saying though. Yeah. It don't
It's
really.
good. It don't really like when he come out. I'm like, huh.
My thing is that he gets a lot of comparisons now to The Rock and Steve Austin, and I'm just kind of picturing something for him that if he is going to get this push in his later years, hopefully, I hope to have him come out to something a little more kind of maybe rockish, like like similar to The Rock in a way, maybe
Mhm.
kind of like that old school what we was talking about when he came back from Hollywood. That might be a little more fitting. I hope they honestly change his once he gets into the big time main event picture, which is going to come. I think we all see it
Oh
coming.
yeah.
Speaking
Oh
of
yeah.
which,
But
I'm sure they would.
so he didn't win the qualifier or the whatever contendership for U.S. title.
Bro, let me tell you something. That fucking crowd last night, bro. Like it didn't matter what the fuck was going. They didn't. If you wasn't LA Knight, they didn't care, bro. Like they was booing Sheamus, they was booing Ray, they was booing Cameron Grimes. Like it didn't matter if you was not LA Knight. Nobody gave a fuck last night. It was crazy.
How did they react when he lost?
Just disappointment, bro. You could hear like the air kind of get sucked out the room. Like people popped for a minute because it was Ray, but then at the same time, like afterwards, everybody was like, "What about LA Knight?" Like,
Everybody
right,
oh, Ray won. Wait a minute, L.A. Light lost.
yeah,
Fuck.
right.
that's exactly what it was like. Everybody was like, "Yeah, wait, no, 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 what the
Well, since we're
fuck?"
kind of on that topic, with Money in the Bank and everything, and everybody wanting to win Money in the Bank there, and Damian Priest won. Do you feel? I feel like Damian Priest was the right way to go, given the storyline with the Judgment Day, everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same or?
Yeah, they made a great choice. I mean, Damian Priest, every time they put him in a big spot, he delivers. They put him. They don't just put anybody in the ring with celebrities and shit in WWE. I know people like to talk shit about why is Johnny Knoxville and Bad Bunny on wrestling, but they don't just put anybody in there with them. They put people they trust in there.
First of all,
And
that
you know,
Johnny
with him,
Knoxville and Sami Zayn match at two WrestleManias ago now or WrestleMania ago, that was fantastic and it surprised
yeah,
me.
it
That
was
was one of
actually
my
really
favorite
well done.
matches.
It was really well done. But yeah, pretty much what I was just saying, like they don't just put anybody in those spots. And
Hmm.
Damian Priest, every time they put him in there with Bad Bunny as a tag partner and against him, he delivered, bro. Every
Well,
time
so
they put
the
him in
thing
there,
is,
so
so did Bad Bunny is what's so unbelievably surprising.
I think someone said Carlito helped train him.
yeah, yeah, he was the one working with him. So I mean, that's
And
what I'm saying.
it's
Like,
returning apparently, yeah. Carlito
yeah,
is returning.
yeah.
I can't. I
So I
can't.
mean,
I wonder what he's going to be doing. Well, you know what?
He's in phenomenal shape. I know that.
So you
yeah.
got two LWO members going to see who's going to be the number one contender for U.S. title. Does Carlito play into that? You think he makes a return for that? Does that match cause separation in the LWO? Like,
Perhaps.
That's a
because
good answer.
I think what I always mess up the name Legado del Fantasma, however you say it.
It's okay.
They could have been a nice faction if they.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say if they were done right because let's be honest, everybody that says that has no idea how to write a television show. You can't even write an essay, let alone write a 3 hour wrestling show. Stop it. Stop it. Uh, don't even know how. Don't know how to format it. Don't know what goes into it. And I say that because like when people were saying the LA Knight should have won a briefcase, my whole question was then what? What are you gonna do with him after that? Who you ain't going? He ain't going after Seth Rollins. He damn sure ain't going after Roman Reigns. Do you want him to win that briefcase to cash in on North American title, U.S. title? No, that's a. Why would you cash in on a little title? Go for the big title. And that's what they
Exactly.
doing now with this storyline between him and Finn and Seth. It's all around that title.
Yep.
Makes sense. So, like I said,
yeah.
these people who I want this. Okay, you get it. Then what? Because when WWE does give it what you want, 2 days later, you booing it
Yeah.
because now you want somebody else to have a spot you just wanted this person to have.
I seen a
Exactly.
post the other day that
Logic.
was a that was about Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and everybody was talk. Ronda made a comment that you're a copy and paste of me, and it struck me because people were bashing Ronda in the comments, and I was like, remembering when she debuted with The Rock there. Well, it wasn't her official debut, but you pretty much knew it was coming at WrestleMania, and everybody was so excited. It was like Ronda Rousey, baddest woman on the planet. She's coming into wrestling. This is gonna be cool. And now it's like the crowd's turned on her.
We
And
hate we hate her. Why? Why is she here? Because you asked for her, fucker.
yes,
Yeah, they have
my
such
thing is
short
she's not
memories,
great
bro.
on the mic,
They
but
got
she
these people got such short memories, bro. Like they will beg for this stuff online for months, and then when it happens, and it doesn't happen exactly the way they wanted it to, then it's just terrible. Now, I mean,
Because here's what they don't
I
realize:
can't.
just because you're watching the show wasn't written specifically for you.
right.
People who sat down and wrote this show didn't say, "Hey, I wonder what Beezy would like tonight. Let's rewrite." No, they don't give a fuck about that. These people are moving merch. These people are moving tickets. Let me put them in the storyline. This is
Yeah.
working. Let's keep doing more of that. That's working.
Well,
Mhm.
we go back in the past and we talk about a lot of people like once again I say it almost every podcast is that people now want to criticize Hogan and shit, and it's like, do you realize this is the guy that first man that had a lawyer, that had to get a lawyer to come in and manage him, and this guy was selling the tickets, he was putting the asses in the seats. This is why he had the title and the rocket strapped on his back. I mean, it wasn't
Right.
all just like, oh, okay, that isn't going to work for me, brother.
It's a
It was just
business. It's a business, man.
If Hogan
It's a
doesn't get
business.
over, we probably are not sitting here having a wrestling podcast right now.
probably not
If Hogan doesn't get over as far as mainstream, you know what I'm saying? What happened?
Right.
Cartoons came after, they did albums,
everything.
celebrities started coming in.
Magazines,
If
cartoons.
none of- nobody in
Movies.
NWA was doing this.
Nope.
No,
Nobody in NWA was doing this. And I would venture out to say people on the northern part of the country, had it not been for tape trading and stuff like that, and a lot of people didn't know who. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people didn't know who Ric Flair was until the internet.
right,
A lot of
because
people didn't know who he
it was
because
a
it was a
hotbed in
yeah,
small places.
it was a wrestling bubble.
Hmm.
And if you weren't in the wrestling bubble, you had no idea who Ric Flair was, bro.
And
And
Ric
then
Flair has said that himself.
yes,
You know, not
Yeah.
everybody knows who Ric
Right.
Flair is, but everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. So,
right.
I mean,
Right.
And when people and Ric Flair said it, uh, um, what's his name? Bruce Pritchard has said it. A lot of people have said it. When Ric Flair came to WWE back in what 90, 91 or whatever, when he first got up there,
yeah.
nobody knew who he was. A lot of the fans didn't know who he was. That's one of the reasons they didn't have the Hogan versus Ric Flair match. It wasn't selling.
It was a
They were
reason they
doing
didn't have the title on him that long as well.
yeah, they were doing house shows with that match and it wasn't selling.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who
I
Ric Flair was.
mean,
So
yeah.
But
See
when
that?
Hogan went to WCW, it sold big.
because everybody knew who he was. He had been on
Hmm.
you,
I mean, he was able to go to WCW and do whatever the fuck he wanted to because he was Hulk Hogan. So, I mean, it was
Exactly.
just.
And that was an ultimate problem. Don't get me wrong, that was a problem. But at the same time, you got to that stage being who you were, and you got there
Hmm.
because of what you done.
Exactly. Yeah, you
hit,
got no choice but to respect it for real. I mean, without a Hulk Hogan, you don't have a John Cena, a Stone Cold, a Rock, Roman Reigns, none of that shit. Like,
See, that was one of my always one of my dream matches. Is that when people talk about dream matches, and I seen it the other day on Facebook, they were talking about we never got Hogan and Steve Austin, and which kind of sucks that I guess we didn't. But my biggest dream match was always seeing John Cena and Hogan because John Cena reminded me of a second coming of Hogan.
I actually
yeah,
didn't. I didn't want to see Hogan and Austin. I did. I thought that match would. I didn't think about it. I've heard people talk about it, but I didn't really put no much.
I think they made the right
But it was,
decision with Rock and Hogan. It
yeah,
went better.
I don't think Austin and Hogan would have been there because they both the same people, punch and kick.
They got that, yeah. They got the same style, and with the Rock, you got a little more dynamic there that meshed with
Yeah,
Hogan's style being
Hogan
older
and
and
Cena.
everything.
Hogan and Cena would have went like 45 minutes, and you know what I'm saying. It's some one of them that would have should have been over in 20, but they would stretch it out to like 45 minutes with
Oh yeah, that
five
would have been
knuckle
like
throws
a
and leg
couple of
drops.
pushes and poses.
Yeah, for real.
The one's got to get pushed down and look shocked that the other one actually put him on his ass. You know, all that good stuff. I can't believe you're there.
So
Whoa.
we talked about how your music and how you got into music and everything. So tell me about how you got into wrestling, pretty much.
Man, same way for real, man. My pops. Um, I think my first encounter with pro wrestling was when I was like 4 or 5. WCW used to come through and do house shows at like all the like civic centers and shit around Alabama. So like he took me to Ozark. Um, and I think the first wrestler I remember like having like a up close encounter with was Sting. And I was like I said, I was like 4. This is like face paint Sting with the what I'm saying, with the neon shit and the blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm
Yeah.
seeing that. That's a superhero to me. You know what I'm saying? I was hooked from then, and it was just
So
So
I
you
you
don't see
came
hit
in
with a
up
button.
around about the late '80s, early '90s, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was like 94, I think,
Yeah.
something like that.
So
Yeah, 94.
the thing there is that Mr. KS here is from up north. He was more of the WWE guy. You and I, both being from the good old South down here, we knew that's what we knew more. We knew
Yeah,
when we grew up watching WCW, NWA, and I mean I seen WWE because it was more televised, but.
hmm
You and I mostly we didn't see WWE come around to local parts too much back in the day. We always seen WCW and we'd go to the WCW shows and watch it on TV, etc.
that's how it was with us.
exactly.
Like we got WCW, we got NWA, we got AWA sometimes. If we had ESPN, you got AWA. We got WWF. But the thing is, like you said, only time WC or NWA came up, they came to one spot, Baltimore. Like I grew up in DC, so we wasn't driving down to Hampton, Virginia, and all that stuff in Norfolk Scope to see WCW.
Right.
We wasn't because back then, I don't know if y'all knew this. I'm black. We weren't driving to the town of Virginia to go see.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't a good idea, so we didn't do it.
I feel
But
that.
we, what I'm saying, but WWE came to our city, like it came right down to the hood because they used to come to the Stadium Aubrey. They used to come to the Capitol Center. They came to the hood, so we went to go see them. We couldn't.
That
We could, like I
I
said,
feel
we saw we knew Ric Flair, but we saw Hogan. We
yeah,
saw Stud. We saw Bundy. We saw Andre the Giant. We saw all those guys. If you had
right,
depending on your reception and where you lived, you got NWA, WCW. If you had was fortunate enough to have some cable or was in a good reception area. So don't hate me because I got to see what I saw. And we was talking about this. How people say Tony Schiavone is the voice of their childhood. It was not the voice of my childhood. Jesse the Body and Vincent Mann and Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan were the voices of my childhood. That's what I heard.
I had both because again, maybe being in the South, you got a lot more wrestling, even though you was more familiar with WCW, and I'm sure Beasy can kind of relate. Like because WWE was so conglomerate, you did see it here. You didn't see it live, but you still got to see it with renting the video cassette tapes and into the DVDs, and they come on TV. But in the South, maybe we got a little more wrestling because it was such a hotbed for wrestling that you would see more WCW everywhere, and you'd still get WWE. So you kind of got more Tony Schiavone and Jesse the Body were and then the Bobby the Brain where we were from. Uh, I just want to go on and add here, BZ, we don't allow smoking on this show, so
Oh.
It's a little.
Hey,
I'm
It's a
joking.
little
y'all
I'm
must
eating.
not have knew who y'all had coming on.
I want to say you just sat here and took about 8 vapes, and you told me the most
I
funny.
know. I was just waiting for it. I was about to.
Yo,
This ain't the
that's why I was
smoking
like,
session, damn it.
I mean, one
it
day
looked
we can
like it.
one
It
one
is.
one day on a different platform we can get on that
This
topic
is
too.
this is the gummy session, damn it. We get shit extreme.
You know, that's a full jar there, bro.
Yeah.
I got-
They hit hard. You can't take too many.
mm. They just
Uh,
closed down. We had a lot of smoke shops. I'm in Virginia now, oddly enough, but not too far deep in Virginia. Just
I
yeah.
don't fuck with that.
You need to move on a little further down south. You get with
Fuck
us.
that. Nah, I'm close. I could literally go out and drive, get on the main road, drive right to DC, and be in DC in 30 minutes, bro. I'm good. Um, but no, like so that we got a lot of they got a lot of smoke shops in Virginia, and apparently after all these years, they decided that was it Delta 9 or something like that.
Delta 8.
Yeah, Delta 8 isn't that
Mhm.
they can't sell it no more because it's supposedly synthetic or whatever. So I don't know. But it's been in the stores for like the last 3 years.
Damn.
Is that what that is?
That is Delta 8 mixed with Delta 10.
God damn.
Um,
Do you
it's
really make
uh,
this, Bob?
Put out
it's
a
it's
drum.
uh, it's more for. It tastes good, it smells good, and it'll get you there. It's a little more lighter. Like I'm not a big smoker anymore. I usually like consume as far as like gummies or whatever when I want to get there. But I don't mind. I was always a guy that loved the taste of it. So you know,
Yeah, I used to
I
be a guy.
like Delta 8 is alright, like in a vape or some type shit like that. But
yeah,
flower, I gotta have the OG. I gotta have the real thing.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Like I tried it a while ago. Mhm. It's 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 more of a heavy head rush than anything else, and
yeah,
I ain't trying to do all that. I got shit to do.
yeah, understandable.
Um,
Yeah, for real.
so damn, I lost. We got on a good topic, and I forgot. The fuck I was supposed
Got
to talk
on a good topic. We got on a high topic.
that part. Um,
The best topic.
so going back, I see you wearing the shirt. So I'm assuming you acknowledge your tribal chief from. do,
I acknowledged him last night, bro.
do you like the storyline? Because
Man,
I think Huck said somebody told him they were getting tired of the storyline, like they're getting
Yeah.
tired. And then I told him, I said, well, ask that person, have they ever watched the full season, like every season of a show, like from beginning to end, like from season 1 to whatever they stop? Because it's pretty much the
right.
same thing. This is season 3 of the Bloodline.
You
Yeah.
know, this is the problem though, and it's most people, but it's mostly young people. Like the attention span of people have is shrunk. Like you can only keep people attention for like a TikTok, but like 15 to 25 seconds. So
Right.
like putting it in storyline terms, like anything that lasts longer than 3 months or take longer than a month or a pay per view to get to the point for them, they just I don't know, their brain can't
And
handle it.
I think a lot to blame with that is social media. Like that's why you have something called TikTok because it is literally a TikTok. It's a second or
Yeah,
30-second
people
tops, and
want people want instant gratification more than like ever nowadays. Like
They, they would have hated. They would have hated '80s wrestling, bro. Like, do you know how
yeah,
long like Andre and Hogan feuded? like,
like 4 years.
do you know how
yeah,
long Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes feuded, bro?
yeah, they be getting tired of people fighting 3 times. Like these motherfuckers fought like hundreds of times,
They
like
fought every
multiple times
week,
a week.
bro. Every week. The Four
But
Horsemen versus the Four Horsemen versus Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors and whatever other fourth person they could find. That shit went on for damn
years.
near a decade, bro. like Like, come on. And we get mad, and it was good. I'm like this, bro. If it's entertaining, I don't care how long, as long as I'm entertained. Like, and I told
Right.
look, like the storyline to me, because people like to say every always predictable is predictable. This storyline is not predictable. Just because you, just when you thought you figured out like what was going to happen, plot twist.
And that was a thing. We talk about long storylines and having several different matches. The Usos, when they were, it seemed like almost every week they were facing the Street Profits, and they somehow managed to have a different type and a great match every single time.
Every
And
time.
dude,
That's what
how
I'm
could you
saying.
not
Like,
be entertained by that?
if it's good, why are we complaining about seeing it again? Like, I want to say,
Yeah,
if
it
it
was
ain't
good.
broke, don't fix it. Like, what we talking about?
Now you
You
got
know?
people. Oh, well, if Jay don't win the title, or this storyline was all for nothing. I'm like, what? Where,
No.
I hate to
were
say
y'all the
it.
same people last like a month ago asking for Cody Rhodes to win the title?
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
they're
No.
gonna really mess me up if Jay does win because how unpredictable that everything has gotten. But I'm telling you, y'all might as well get used to Roman having that belt at least to next WrestleMania
Yeah,
and
I don't
probably a
think
little
Jay's
after.
winning it. There. I think the I look like the way they setting it up. Jimmy is gonna cost Jay the title.
I see that. Yeah,
Like,
See what I'm saying? Plot twist, because I wasn't even thinking
yeah,
about that.
yeah. It seems like they playing it up to where they making it look like everything that's happening to Jimmy is Jay's fault. Jimmy's jealous of Jay and all the attention he's been getting. They've been hinting at it. So,
So you think the Usos are splitting up?
I think Jay's definitely going to get a big push.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't really know where he goes after this match with Roman, but I know that his shirt is number one right now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
and
I,
going forward,
if we judging merch by Steve Austin numbers, if you selling up, he what the story was he cleared 1 million in T-shirts alone,
yeah,
$1 million. That
so
was in what 90, 97, 98, 99.
right.
yeah, and
Exactly.
like
Come
Stone
on,
Cold and like the NWO and G Generation X, they still like top 10 merch like
All
all these
time.
years
Yeah,
later.
still.
Yeah,
Right.
but still they still selling this shit. Like you still
and
see them in the crowd.
you know what's so funny though? At the very core, the NWO shirt is basic as fuck. The first DX shirt was basic as fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Stone
Yeah,
Cold shirt, basic as fuck. So you
yeah,
don't have to. You don't. Moral of the story: you don't have to do too much to make a lot. Bro. Sometimes
Right.
less is more.
And I
hmm,
prefer shirts like that, and I have the basic NWO shirt. I have the basic DX shirt, and that's my style. I love that more than anything. I don't want
Yeah.
to, but I don't want to look like the
but
side of
you
the
have to
road and
realize
street graffiti all over me.
When I say basic, I don't mean like oh that's all they did was just no. I'm just saying like that's all you needed because
Right, and
not
that's
because
plenty.
hmm,
and part of most of that is because the people who the shirts were for were over as fuck. Everybody wanted to be in the NWO. Everybody wanted to be in DX, bro. So
Yeah.
that's why the shirts are selling. It's cool to be in. I'm in DX. Let's do the cross chop.
I'll never forget. I think at the WrestleMania where Sting faced Triple H, and they finally
hmm,
brought NWO versus DX, and a lot of people a lot of Marks criticized that and was like, "Yeah, it was stupid. It had nothing to do with anything. The NWO had nothing to do with Sting. They're not on his side. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. It was still WCW
CW
versus
versus
WWE. They
thank you,
got that element.
thank
them
you.
people they weren't old enough to remember when DX pulled up the Nitro with that tank though.
Right,
And Sting
dude.
was
Let me tell
and
you.
Sting was in the NWO. So what are they talking about?
I
Right.
was there.
That's
I
true.
was there for this WrestleMania. And let me tell you, when DX came out, people popped. People popped big. I was like, oh shit, what's happening? This is crazy. Of course, Triple H has got his boys out here. But when the NWO theme hit, and Hogan, Nash, and Hall walked out, these motherfuckers went ballistic.
But you could
Because
hear
that
it.
was the
Like I
epitome
peeped.
of the Monday
on the
Night Wars,
network.
DX and the NWO.
Exactly. The two hottest things in the Monday Night War. DX, NWO.
Hell yeah.
Well, speaking of
That
factions,
was a moment.
I don't know if you know seen it on Monday. Was it Monday or last Friday? One of them shows. Um, 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 what's his name? Lashley pulled up, and Street Profits got in his truck. Are we getting like the Hurt Business back or the new Hurt Business?
That's gonna be
Something.
crazy.
Like I'm pretty sure
That,
they didn't tease that for nothing. I hope they didn't tease that for nothing.
that's gonna be crazy. I popped when I saw last week with Carmelo Hayes. I was
Dude,
like that's when I popped.
if you put Lashley, Mello, Trick, and the Street Profits together, bruh,
That's gonna be a nasty statement.
Yeah,
as my boy Dez was saying, and
So dang.
he likes New Day. He just hates the fact that they come out there dancing and shit all the fucking time. He's like, man, why they gotta have us dancing and jigging around and shit? But
out there
dude,
cutting a jig.
if the Hurt Business come back, bro, they gotta be serious. They gotta wreck shop, bro.
Yeah,
They gotta wreck
agreed.
shop, bro. They can't be. We don't need another New Day.
Right.
I,
I don't want to see it as a face faction. I want to see it as like an actual let's beat motherfuckers up faction.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll beat up the good guys. We'll beat up the bad guys. Just don't get in the fucking way. We,
Exactly.
and
That's what
if
they
they
need.
do that, do you see Lashley getting the world heavyweight title as the leader of the faction?
That's true.
I mean, it might not be popular, but I could see. I'll put it like this: I think Lashley will have that title before next. Well, no, take it back. He'll have that title. He okay. So the title it'll go through Seth. It'll go through either Finn or Damian Priest. It'll probably go back to Seth. Then Lashley will get it. That's
I can
how
see that.
that's how I see it. Because I don't think Finn is going. If he does take it from Seth, he ain't holding it long. Seth gonna get it back. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I
I
feel
know.
like Finn Balor and Damian Priest is going to end up clashing again somehow. I don't know. I just don't feel like
It's happening.
that's
It's
over
there.
it.
I,
Yeah,
I I know it's coming, but I don't want to see Judgment Day break up though,
yeah.
because they got some.
I don't want to see
I've been
Rhea
seeing some
and
shit about
Dominic break up.
Finn might be leaving on, but I don't know.
I don't think Red. I don't think Red. Man, that's ride
Mm,
that shit till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
for
I
real.
agree.
Red Dom, ride that shit till the wheels fall. All
I
to the
totally agree.
transmission drop to the engine lock up. Ride that bitch. Because
Let me ask y'all about this though. You remember how they kicked Edge out? Like, how did that make sense to y'all?
to me, yeah, because I didn't see Edge as the leader of that. Edge didn't fit with Judgment Day. That just didn't.
I
That,
kind
I
of
feel like
liked I kind of liked Edge being with it, and I think it was too. I think it was fine that it happened. I just think it happened
too.
too soon.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's more what I was getting into. Like,
I don't think it should have happened that soon. I think it should have rode out a good 6 months or so.
right.
It'd
I
have been
feel
more.
like the rest of them, like Damian Priest and Dom and Rhea, I feel like they just now getting to the point where they don't need somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, yes.
at the time
Like
it didn't
now
make
would have
sense
been the
because
time to
they
kick him
weren't
out.
doing shit.
Because me personally, and it may sound wrong when I say it. I don't think Finn because his accent is so heavy. He's not. I don't think he's the person that should be like. He don't come across as like that. The mean heel leader of a faction.
Yeah,
Like, I don't see like I'm not following Finn. Like it don't look right that Damien is following Finn to the ring. Like it just visually
right.
off
Yeah. The
Damian is
most
obviously
fitting
not doing
person
it.
in that whole faction is Rhea Ripley.
because she lives that lifestyle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's her
for sure.
life.
Now, I guess a good topic that we can probably I guess we're almost at an hour probably can end on is is there's a big circulation of Bray Wyatt is actually about to return. I think it's imminent. So, what's your thoughts on Bray? Like all together since the return and the rumors of him about to return again. Like, do you want him to come back? Do you feel like he needs to come back? Do you feel like if he comes back
Absolutely.
this time and it falls through, like it's not WWE, it's definitely a Bray Wyatt thing? So,
I mean, I feel like a big part of the issue is Vince McMahon. You know, they said that Triple H gave Bray like pretty much creative freedom, but it was some things that he wanted to do or certain ways he wanted to play stuff out, and Vince was like, "Nah." So I don't know.
Do
I'm
do
excited to see him come back.
would
I
you
just,
want to see him return as the Fiend or to continue what he's doing
absolutely,
currently?
I want to see him come back as the Fiend. Even the story, the way it was going before, I feel like eventually the Fiend was gonna show up anyway.
Yeah,
Like through the whole Uncle Howdy thing, I feel like somehow he was kind of recapturing all of his old gimmicks into that one. Like, that was like the cult leader Bray for a little bit, and then he came out as just his regular self supposedly, and then Uncle Howdy's out there now. The Fiend about to show up. Oh,
let me ask you, could you say so? Like Triple H let him do a lot of his own stuff. Do you think a lot of the stuff he wanted to do was better than the stuff Vince had him do? Because a
I
lot of
it
the,
mean,
started out better.
yeah, but
yeah.
then it got to like I didn't want to keep looking up QR codes, bro. Like
I
that
mean,
shit.
I'm looking at the big picture. I'm looking at the way they did the draft. That was all Triple H. I'm looking at. I don't know, man. I feel like Triple H listens to the people that he came up with in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Like a Bray, a Seth, a KO. People like that. I feel like if Vince would just let Triple H and Bray do what they wanted to do with it, then it would probably work. But if that don't happen, then you might have to explore another option somewhere. I don't know.
And
I hope he comes back, and I hope it works out this time. But and I think that's a lot of people because I mean he is such a lovable character and a fan favorite, and we just want to see him have a good run for once. And if it comes down to retirement or whatever, like at least have one good fucking run.
because
Right.
I was a fan of the Waylon Mercy Bray when he first came in. I,
Same.
I liked the Fiend. Just the Bray when he first came back the last time, it was all right. The Hulk, the Uncle Howdy stuff, it was like you said, it was good when it started. But then I just like I'm like okay,
It went too long, and
yeah, I kept trying to give it a chance. I'm like okay, because I'm not one of the people like oh well, I didn't like it. It sucks. I might not have got it. It might not have been for me to like. I'm not into everything, right? So, but I was trying to give it a chance. But like you said, it was going too long, and I'm like okay, well that's Uncle Howdy. The first Uncle Howdy was against him. Now he's helping him out. Like
that's and when we say too long, I mean a lot of people say that about the bloodline, but the bloodline makes sense. This didn't make sense, and it just kept going too long, and there was no matches, and he had one match against LA Knight, and none of it was adding up,
Yeah.
and that was the problem.
to me, I feel like I think wrestlers should have input on their characters because don't nobody know the character it's better than the person playing it. But at the same time, like you need somebody there to be like, okay, that's a good idea, but let's look at it this way. What happens if you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that integrate with the rest of the show? Like, because it's just, like you said, it's a story, and you may
Right.
have a good idea for a match. You might have a good idea, for whatever. But just because you have a good idea, don't know how to hash out a story. Like the world is full of people with good ideas. The
Yep.
world ain't full of people
Yeah.
who write
True.
#1 bestsellers. Bro. Like it's just what it is.
Exactly.
So
I
True.
will ask one more thing, and I know I said the Bray Wyatt thing, probably the last thing, but we mentioned on Sami Zayn and KO there, and I've heard the topic of well, what are they going to do? What are they doing? What are they doing now that they've gotten the belts from the Usos? And I'm like, their whole gimmick is go out there and face everybody for them tag titles, and I like that. I like that they just go out there and give it their all. How do you feel about Sammy and KO with the tag belts? And do you think that it's a good transition for as long as the Usos held it? Do you feel like that they're doing their part?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't. Who could you pass the belts to that have more chemistry than twin brothers besides these two? They've been doing this for like 20 years plus against
Right,
each other, with
pretty
each
much
other at
together.
all times. And I mean, whoever the next team is, it's probably gonna be somebody young or somebody new, like a pretty deadly, like somebody like that.
Big
Um,
fan actually.
yeah, yeah, or like the Imperium, or even like Alpha Academy or somebody like that. Like it's gonna be a
I would
team
like to
that,
see Alpha Academy, and it seems like they're
yeah,
starting to get a little more of a push. I'd like to see
yeah,
them.
they definitely getting over like a motherfucker. Like,
Do,
Shush!
um,
I love him so much.
do you think the Street
they got a
Profits
lot of.
should have had it already, or do you think they should get it sometime soon? Like, I'm not saying like they should be the people that beat Sammy and KO, but could they be the people that beat Sammy and KO?
I can see that.
Because
I
like I
could
said,
definitely see
they
that.
going off with Lashley and they got in the truck and discussed something. I don't know. They might come back. They might drop the
I
solo
could
red
definitely see
cups
that.
and
I would
become
love to see it.
badasses. Yeah. I don't know. I
I'd like to see it. I think it's time for a shakeup with them. To be honest, I hope something good comes out of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gotta be a hill climb.
Mr. KS, do you got anything to ask to add?
no, just like I said, first time I know of Beezy. I've never had that chance to actually talk to him, so this has been a good conversation. And
Yeah, it was nice
when
to
you live in the
get in
South,
here and chop it up with
yeah, it was good. It was good. Huck was talking about the noise. You live in the South, man. It's nothing but big trucks and gun racks down
That was a motorcycle. They do that a lot around here.
there. But no, yeah, it was the first time chopping it up with him. Good convo. Seems like he knows what's up. My
I will say this: if for say I ever open a wrestling company and I start booking, I'm gonna book Mr. KS here as BZ's father, and we're gonna start a storyline.
the fuck?
We're gonna run with it, or his uncle.
what
His
the
uncle. We're
fuck?
gonna do it as his
Yeah,
uncle.
you know when you say that, and my son went through he went through a little camp this week, and I work for the county, so it was at one of the county buildings, and one of the kids saw me talking to my son, like I was filling up his water bottle or something, because they was outside running a mile and doing obstacle courses and all this shit, right? So I'm filling up the thing, and then one of the leaders of the camp came back and said, "Hey," he put his arm on. He said, "Don't be surprised if people start calling you grandpa." I was like, "What? Why would somebody call me grandpa?" He said, "Yeah." One of the kids thought that I was talking to my grandson. Like he thought my son was my grandson instead of my son. I was like,
No, my G, you ain't that old, bro.
"Do I look that old, bro?" I'm not old.
Jeez.
I am not old enough to
That's
have an
wild.
11-year-old grandchild, bro. I am
Dude,
not.
I got
That's
called. I got
wild.
called old the other day, and I'm 36 years old. I got called old, like an old head, and I'm like, bro, I'm 36. What do you mean?
To be
This
fair,
kid
when I
ain't
was in
shit,
high
man.
school, I thought 30-year-olds were old too. So
Maybe.
that's when I was in high school, and I was like 15 years younger than them. But I called them old. Whatever.
I guess before we go, as we mentioned, uh, BZ is here, is a musician. Uh,
Yeah,
BZ, if you could tell us where we could check your music out and stuff, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Oh
and
yeah,
if you
for
if you
sure.
if you uh, if you send me if you send a link, message me or message Huck a link to where we can link up with your stuff. We'll go ahead and put that in the description of the show.
Okay, good. That's good. Y'all can find me anywhere that you stream music. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, TikTok, Sound. You put me on your Facebook story, Snapchat story, all that good shit. BZ Badass. That's with $2 signs, not S's, on all platforms. My latest project, Demon Time, is out now. Go check that out. Got like 60K streams on that bitch. We got some new shit coming out in a couple months. And like I said, me and Ryan Carter cooking up some shit right now too. So that's gonna be
I really
something to
look
look
forward to
forward
that,
to.
honestly. Knowing both of you, and as close to me as I feel both of you guys are, even though we don't speak as much or get on the PlayStation as much as we used to. I still feel like both of you are very close to me. So I will definitely be checking that out ASAP as soon as you get that drop.
It's a little busy right here.
In the store. Head into the weed, man, I got more than 5 on it. This a hit, make a track, you know I had the vibe on it. Niggas be on my dick so much, they man just wanna ride on it. What's the point of all that talking if you ain't gon' slide on it? Skate on it.
Okay. Well, Max can flow. You don't get on title if you can't spit nothing. So there you go. And I say that because you said title. I do a little bit of DJ, and I'm by no means am I a professional, but I have a title account, so I stream my music, do that to DJ. So. Cool. Huck, thanks for showing up this week. You've been gone for 2 weeks. Fuck,
I got sick on purpose. I was like, God damn, I can't deal with him this week. I got to figure out something. I started going around licking toilet seats, trying to figure out how to get sick. I'm sorry.
Fingering cow asses, all that good stuff. I know.
You know how we do it down here. Roll Tide.
Oh shit!
No, sir.
Do not do Roll Tide because you.
Our boy is actually from Alabama, but he's an Auburn fan. So
yeah, you gotta.
They must hate
go for 2 more weeks now. You said that bullshit.
Oh Lord. Yeah, and please don't say it because you sound like Conrad when you say that. Like, God, please. I hate hearing it. When he says that, I almost want to cut the fucking podcast off when he says that shit.
Well, I'm a Clemson fan, so sorry.
I stopped watching college football because let's face it, the University of Maryland sucks. And then they went to the Big Ten, which was
I'm so sorry. No wonder you stopped watching.
They were already bad, and he went to the Big Ten. Like what? Like that was gonna make your situation better. You losing
not
more
at all.
Like the fuck.
That made it a lot worse.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Huck. Hopefully you don't lick any more toilets. We'll do this again next week. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you, Beezy, for stopping through. Like I said, send Huck or me, message me or him the links, and then we'll put that in the description and get people to check that out. All right. Man. Oh, my final thing, because I said I was gonna get this and I forgot because we're having such a good conversation. For the life of me, he might not hear this, but if he does, David Dumbass Meltzer, please stay the fuck off my timeline, bro. And if people want to post anything from him, a clip, a tweet, or anything, I don't go. Stay the fuck off my timeline. I'm tired of hearing this dumb shit, bro.
But because you've mentioned him, he's going to appear more now. See what you've done?
And then I got to tell you the last thing. I told you who DM'd me the other week, right?
Yes.
Conan DM'd me out the blue. Why? He DM'd me. He says, "Hey, do you watch the show? I mean, do you listen to the show?" I'm like, "Yeah." Why are you DMing me? Ask me, do I listen to your show, bro? Who does this? It's like, well, where are you from? Like, I'm from DC. Okay, do you mind if I shout you out and tell everybody? I'm like, okay. Why are you asking me this? What? So I'm thinking, like, do you just do this to everybody that follows you? Like, you just randomly message you and say, "Hey, I see you follow me, so I'm gonna post this as a shout out to my show." That people like. I think that's like the thing they do or something like that. I don't know. Like that's weird to me. But I don't. I'm here at Front Row Wrestling Podcast. Me or Huck are not gonna come DM you and ask you, "Do you listen to our show?" And then can we shout you out? Because it was just weird and random out of nowhere. Like why?
You should have asked him, "Do you listen to ours?" And if so, do you want to be on the show? And if so, when can we book you?
And then he was like, "Yeah, for 5,000 pesos." Yeah.
I got a pack of goodie powders and a fucking Taco Bell order. That's all I can get you, bro.
He might take that too. I don't know. But no, like I said, it was just random and weird. Like, hey, do you listen to my show? I'm like, what the fuck? Because I have Twitter, but I don't tweet. The only thing I tweet is the show link.
Right.
Show. I don't tweet. Like, what the fuck? So,
should have said, I listen. I'm more of a fan of Jim Cornette, but every once in a while.
oh my god, yeah, I should have. If I hadn't caught me off guard so quickly, like I probably would have said something smart. But like I said, it was just random out the blue. Like the fuck.
I mean, but that's cool. That's cool that he actually at least reached out. Now we
Yeah,
need to
I mean,
reach
don't
back
get me
out.
wrong. It's cool. It was just a little creepy at first. That's all. Like
Are we sure it was the real Conan?
it was the real Conan. It was. I went and checked. It was the real Conan.
Okay.
It was just random. But no, same time next week, man.
We'll be back next week. I'm gonna stay healthy, and definitely we'll be back next week.
Stay off the farm, man. Just stay off the farm.
I'm gonna stay off the farm. Not gonna do anything bad.
All right. Well, same bat time, same bat channel. See y'all next week. This is Mr. KS.
How many clicks is it?
Oh God, I'm not. I thought I was over that. I guess it's 2.
How many clicks is it?
That is 2.
Ah!
She's gonna blow up.
Ah!
1, 2. God damn it. Go home.
Ah!